Okay, so we're in the basement here. This is the family room, game room area, whatever you want to call it. One of the things about basements that drive me nuts about a lot of homes is just that people end up just kind of as an afterthought. There are certain inherent qualities that you have to have in basements with beams and structural different items, but it doesn't mean that you can't incorporate them into your design. So in this particular home, it's had some pretty big spans. We have some 2-foot thick I-beams, metal I-beams that are thicker than the floor is, and directly above me is one of them that you can see. What we did is we sheetrocked that, made it into a beam, obviously, and then we did some other false beams around there to kind of break it up and give it a gridded type ceiling, which actually turned out, I think, quite well. We also took into account the ductwork when we did this, and the ductwork is actually hidden up inside these I-beams that service the rest of the house. A lot of times that's just something that, you know, is part of the design, and sometimes you can't get around it, but whenever possible we try to do the best we can to hide those kinds of things so that when you're in the basement you don't have these big drops and make you feel like you're in some kind of a dungeon. Behind me you've got the railing again, but this is a different look here with the open-ended staircase. We did the wood stairs. And this is a standard when we end up having something that is not got a wall in front of it. We end up doing some of these stairs here, and it gives it a good finished look. So behind me here is the just a bookshelf. The owners came to me and she had a picture off of Pinterest, because I think Pinterest in house dictates what we build anymore. But she had this picture and we took it and we built it. It's a great location for it. It's great bookshelves or games or whatever she wants to do, and you know, it's fun to do those kinds of things that are unique to just that person, and we really like to do that kind of stuff. This house, we did a theater room underneath the garage, so it's got a suspended slab above us, and it's pretty typical for a lot of times when you do theater rooms, because it actually holds the sound in a lot better. However, we did some fun things in here. I think theater rooms need to be fun, so we did some pillars, we did some rope lighting on the stairs, kind of like a movie theater. So did rope lighting in the crown molding as well. And I think it turned out really fun. One of the things we did here as well is we did a bar in the back of the theater room, which has been met by rave reviews for most of my clients, because when you have or are in the theater room, a lot of times you have food and nobody wants to eat on their laps, right? Let's just be honest. One fun thing though too is we actually have, this house is actually a zone system. When we say zone, it's actually got, you know, one furnace with multiple different zones, so it acts as independent furnaces if you were to have independent furnaces. So you're able to control your temperature a lot better than just blanketing one level in a house and saying, you know, 72 degrees in the middle of it. When you're in a theater room, it's got to be one of the hottest things, because you've got a projector and lots of bodies that are creating a lot of heat. And so we've done the zone system, and it's been a very good thing for a lot of our clients. This particular system, we actually upgraded the air conditioning units, and the air conditioning units are extremely energy efficient. So a lot of times when you have an air conditioning unit, it usually turns on and it has, you know, they calculate it as being about 150 amps when it turns on. These air conditioning units are 11 amps when they turn on. It's equivalent to a blender, and they work out really well. And they're gonna end up saving this guy a lot of time. And then Alicia, she insists that she asks me some questions and interviews me.
I'm just wondering if they wanted to add in like all the surround sound for it or home theater equipment. Can they add that into their loan and everything with you?
Absolutely. They can do window blinds, theater equipment, landscaping, whatever it is that you can sell with that house. And I would honestly highly recommend it. I can't tell you how many theater rooms that we've done that we've pre-wired for, and I go back 5 years later and there's nobody they haven't done anything to it, just simply because they haven't got the money to do it. So if there's any flexibility, and one thing about it too is Marcy, she's really good about making sure that people are qualified and taken care of. the finance end of it so that you can make sure that you get those kinds of things that you want into your house.
Well, that's exactly what I was asking, because usually they'll let it sit, they think they're gonna do it next year, that'll be their Christmas present, and then they never get it done. So,
Yeah.
thanks for answering that.
So this is the front porch. A lot of houses that have basements have the cold storage under the front porch. We did a Fort Knox safe door on this, so it's actually a fireproof room for them. But this guy, which is the funnest part I think of this house, ended up doing a gun room in here. So he came to me and asked me to build him these gun racks. And so we've got lots of different gun racks. It goes about 20 feet that way. He can hold about 150 guns in here, and turned out really, really fun. So I love unique spaces, and I love to make them for people.